the neon, you can keep putting walls up to basically block these super aggro plays. And while speaking of super aggro plays, BBL are pushing up mid, but it's solo. Yeah, I was about to say, LaRock is taking a bit of a risk because it seems like Pacific have been perfectly happy to just wait at the beginning of a lot of these rounds just to catch those sort of aggressive plays.
Look at the sneaky play by VALORANT. He's caught Kreven completely off guard. And it's not even like Pacific are going off the back of that. They're now waiting. And it's the right call with 3 players towards B. They want space elsewhere, assuming those rotations have come through. And VALORANT, he's got the rotations back to A. He's heard 2 going. Now they push into the B site, knowing that whoever's there should be on their own. It's a free pick onto Loida, a wall that isolates an angle deep on site that Ninja can pounce on the back of. This is a really nice pistol from Pacific so far. And finally, a blow will be dealt. Damage onto a player. A CNET goes low, but LaRock finds himself alone to finish his dinner. And it's a big plate on front of him. 4 players left even after he's taken down 7.
Another solid round for Pacific. The push and pull that they have, constantly baiting in aggression from their opponents, and then the crossfires left at the end. The second they get into the post plant, you have to feel confident in this team. And yeah, it feels like BBL are almost falling for all of the traps that are being said. Like, we make a little bit of sound, we put a bit of pressure, and then they're just trying to put too much into, okay, I've got to now take space. I've got to go into this position because we've lost this position. I need to take here. And there's just a player waiting there from Pacific every single time. Like, the amount of free kills we've seen in the last couple of maps where BBL are so convinced they're doing one thing and the opponents are doing the complete opposite.
You know, the mental game's certainly been in play so far. A 1-0 start for Pacific, pistols in play for BBL, but they've decided to gang up towards this A site. Strength in numbers, perhaps even safety. We'll see, as BBL look to execute straight out into A main. A lot of players waiting there from Pacific, but the slow down, it's not going to be an easy push. Straight into the meat blender, head first as Ninja picks up the triple. And finally, a kill will come in on the other side. Hey, that's something. And, 4 more to drop. The question of damage, I suppose, now in play.
That's whether or not he can drop any of those weapons. Likelihood is slim. It would have to be a whiff shot or 2. I think there's 1. Even just the heals coming in. Nice shot onto Ninja at least. Anything more would be impressive. And well, they're going to at least manage to keep all of the rifles through to the next round. It's the bare minimum, you'd say, for Pacific, and for BBL, a couple of extra orbs here and there, but I kind of do feel like BBL need to get back on the horse a little bit earlier, because the last map, it just felt like after those first 4 rounds, they almost just choked out the rest of the map, and I think if Pacific get a good start, well, think if they got a good start back on map number 1, they might have 2-0'd this.
Without a doubt, yeah, I mean, that first half of Breeze was so damning that we didn't even think there was a game to play.
It feels like it was about a week ago.
Yeah. It does.
I'll be honest with you.
And I think the reality is, for them to bounce back is remarkable in and of itself. Now, immediately, this slow has caused some problems.
They were both
deep
seized
smoke
as
on
well.
the other side. That's going to stop any capitalization, but slow down that takeover. A, usually players would rotate out already. Luckily, you got the gate crash to immediately send Lover's Rock to the B site. And from now, this is fine. BBL have fought for some early control. They've pushed Pacific back, and it's the attackers that need to now make a move with no real info to play off.
And they managed to clear out a lot of this early side for utility. And that seems to be the aim of the game so far for Pacific. Just try and bait out any util early and then make a decision. They've been happy to execute late. Kreven, though, he's just decided to try and take things into his own hands. Fights aggressively. Wall to block things off. They can now make the sprint back towards the site, and there's no real chance for a flank to come in behind them. At least not very quickly. Loiter in a good position, though, and the crossfire is magnificent. Lover's Rock and Loiter thriving as they look to try and push in, and well, Cupid's left to try and clutch this one out. They are not going to jump peek that again.
Even with that opening fight not going their way, Kreven falling towards Connector, I like what they were setting themselves up for. BBL obviously reading into the fact that an early play from Pacific in the pistol was to make a little bit of noise and then exploit that space towards the double door, and thinking that maybe they'll do it now, then they're on that low buy. They stack up numbers there. They're ready for the fight. The bonus is being denied any real impact as a result. again, even though the first fight went their way, I think very nicely done from BBL. And just to add to that, the fact that they decide, I think it was Loida who was in connector deeper. As soon as Kreven falls here, Loida leaves and sets up this crossfire on site. That was the right call.
But that has been, I feel like, something missing, especially in the last map. Like, it felt like a lot of what they were doing was, I'm going to make a play. I'm going to do this. This was much more of like a, let's play this together.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
get that crossfire set up. And I think that's probably what Key, or Coach Key, was sort of hammering home in the break, that like, yeah, sure, Pacific called a fantastic game, great individual plays, but there were also moments where you felt like BBL lost themselves the map as well.
BBL have gone for, again, a lot of aggression towards A main. 3 players there, and it seems like a lot of commitment. Last time, they had the gate crash towards B to fall back on. So that sort of spreads out the numbers a little bit more evenly. This time, though, it's sitting inside or the back of the A site. So putting a lot of resources towards this side of the map, while Pacific are trying to figure out where BBL have battened down the hatches. Prowler on B, players poking and prodding on mid. They're going to re-clear A main late as well.
Right there.
They haven't really got anything to work with on the side of Pacific, but it seems like they're making the right read to move this towards A.
Yeah, I think for the BBL, you have that aggression because you want to, like, if you play on the sites against a Nightfall, there's going to be a lot of angles that are just cleared out by the attack almost for free. So you get aggro one side and you leave the other side empty. They've not come into any resistance because of how slow Pacific are playing, and now they're going to get that same execute anyway. But there you go. They can avoid that Nightfall, or somewhat avoid it. He can fall back and at least get himself out of there and play for the retake. And then the full squad will be in, just trying to delay as much as humanly possible. And they have actually managed to stop the plant going down.
They've done really well. BBL responded to every piece of info sent their way. Ninja's already down. Good spam from LaRock. Gets a second. This is clean for BBL. Half the players they're not even seeing. As Cubert eventually finds one, there's 6 seconds left. The spike's not being picked up. They have to stick to plant, and they can't even get close. Very nicely done by BBL. Again, I think there's a number of moments here where they're playing A main aggression at the start. They go back, they clear art, then they go towards the double doors because that's where Pacific have found that weakness before. It's what they've tried to leverage, and it was even faked out by the Yoru there. So it felt like BBL were being taken by the hand down the wrong lane. They were being misled by that information, and yet they then quickly make the adjustment to realize something's wrong here. Stack up that A site.
Looking at the ult on the other side and going, we can't play in the site.
Exactly.
Like on either side of the map, both sides, the site was empty. They were like, okay, we're going to continuously rotate, allow ourselves that space, and then the LaRock spams were perfect. To get 2 kills of players you can't see, it's easier. Well, it looks easy when he does it, but it really isn't. And well, that's a big punish for Pacific. That was them coming in with 2 fairly high impact ults. Obviously the res fairly situational, and rifles, and now they're right back to the pistols once again. I do wonder when is the moment that Pacific pick up the pace, because I feel like they were able to punish in the last map by being this slow, but if their opponents are not giving them those fights, which, look again, they're not, you now need to pick up the pace to force them into some decisions, otherwise that util is going to be held for a long, long time.
Usually you've got the Cypher around here. This time it's going to be LaRock. Luckily, there's a stun from Astra and from him, but then he goes back into the angle, up against pistols. This is crazy. He's giving them the best fight, the dream duel for a gang of pistols rounding the corner. Rose does well to find 2, but again, these feel like fights we shouldn't be giving. And with the res coming into play, now there's 2 rifles recovered and a man advantage to work with. Pacific are right back into this round, but they're under pressure, and they need to deal with Lover's Rock right away. He finds one, he gets out. That's a big problem.
This is what he does best. Just making it impossible to trade him, and that was something they desperately needed in that moment. Flash is even going through the trip. It's just going to have to be ignored because they need to get that plant in, but that allows Lover's Rock again just to reposition. Not gambling anything. They still haven't been able to destroy that piece of utility. The questions were asked of the Cypher has helped them out massively. But that's a Lover's Rock round. That's a prime example of what I was talking about earlier. That is a safe pair of hands who still gets 3 kills.
It is a Lover's Rock round. He plays it perfectly. But the fingerprint here from LaRock is so funny. The fact that there's a Sage Wall coming into play from the attackers to block the spams means that there's a gap that they can walk around the backup. So they're so worried about that dead man spams that they end up giving an avenue for this squad to fight right back through. I think an
Also, that
unfortunate
trick,
scenario.
by the way, is just disgusting.
Yeah, just keep
like, you can see them spamming, like, where the hell has he put this? I can't break it. That's irritating, to say the least. And, well, again, they're a little bit worried that maybe that previous map was going to sort of cause problems for BBL, but 3 in a row after the pistol and follow-up, building a decent economy, and again, fighting for this early control, fighting for the orb. That's the Hunter's Fury online. And that's the other thing, they haven't had to use any of their ults in these last few rounds. They have just been building them up over time.
Now a plethora of safety nets to fall back on for BBL. They can play patient.
They can't allow Larocque to keep this space. I feel like that's something that, I understand that running into that is running into the blender, but when he can cut off a big half of the map, that really does box them in.
The other thing you're worried about is the AWP that was there in so many of these initial round starts. Lover's Rock has been there to take that fight. This time, he's moved over towards the B site. Benefit of the gate crash and the quick rotations, but only good for one. Putting the pressure instead onto Loida, but Krevin, he comes through to help out. He's dodged the Prowler. He's found one. A little bit more with Loida by his side. And Valorant is all alone. The world against him. It's a fight he's not looking to take. Saving this weapon now. Perhaps the goal. Although I see him moving towards the spawn, he's got a fight on his hands, whether he likes it or not,
left.
and it's Krevin on the angle, who will fall. Perhaps a chance.
Yeah, the problem is just the amount of time on the clock, and he's going to assume already that the majority of players are already there just waiting.
And there was an AWP before on that angle, so now he's going to take it without smokes. Good luck.
It's not really worth the weapon, especially when you look at the economy that they have.
10 seconds
Your
left.
lurking player left, but yeah, I think BBL have made some fantastic adaptations over the last couple of rounds. Like, once the play was spotted, you saw the immediate movement to just double up that crossfire. And as I said, like in previous map, we were talking about them over-facing individually, taking 1v1s. Even on Breeze, they were doing the same, but they were so far in the lead that you kind of forgive it a little bit more. This is where you're seeing that structure that we've kind of come to expect from the side of BBL. They are a bunch of youngsters. They are a couple of 18, 19-year-olds that are just going to take crazy firefights. But when things go wrong, then you get this. You get the structure. You get the fallback plan, which the coach put into play, and probably was why he was slamming his hands on the desk in the last map, because it didn't happen.
Yeah. On the side of Pacific, though, I do wonder, you know, and I'm sure we'll find out as time goes on, but sort of the mentality of these players. Because I know on the other side of the stage, BBL are
If you're still typing your coding prompts, you're leaving.
He hit Ninja there. He traced wave.
against the pistols, they've been keen to take a lot of risks towards double doors. Just look where Kreven is. I mean, now he's backed off, but both himself and Loida were tucked in that little corner there. And that's risky as hell.
Oh, minute gone. Oh, he's not able to escape this time.
Right here.
Tried to duck away from it. Rose is also holding on to the angle. A lot of the time, Lover's Rock is seen alone, but they don't want to try and put too much here. Loiter is waiting in the second. Yeah, immediately. Smoke up. We'll just look to delay them as much as possible. Pull the rotation in. His teammates just about going to get there in time. Kreven waiting and watching, but it's only now that the third is getting into play. Seven trying to make his way, but the cage would give away a lot of the noise. It's not perfect, but Kreven is there to pick up the pieces. Nice work. Had a quieter prior map, but he's definitely looking like he's having his moments in this one.
I love that target selection at the end. He swings out, aims at the player, goes, oh no, my teammate's got him. I'll take the other guy. No problem at all. Quick adjustment. They take them both down like it's an execution. 6-2 for BBL. But I think the big part of this round is the fact that Kreven, not only in the end getting that impact, but had that trap online in Art. So yes, they get a pick there. They're trading out that battle. But when the trip goes up and nobody breaks it, BBL immediately rotate out. They're worried about to push through double doors, and then they go to spawn and move on to that B site. Already ready for the battle. They did really well to set themselves up for that.
Is where they finally challenge for that A main control. It's a little bit worrying, and they've lost the rest of the map. It's almost like BBL had the perfect read. It's like, okay, they're finally going to try and deal with that position. Let's all push mid. Let's start getting a little bit risky in Lover's Rock again. It's looking like they might just be slaughtered. CNED's done well. He's going to get traded out immediately. And for VALORANT, okay, I didn't expect him to win that one. Ninja as well has called the rotation. What was looking like a potential dominant round from BBL now comes back. Now this lockdown, it doesn't clear everything.
Rose has the angle. That wall along, there we go. He has to be pushed back by the ultimate. Otherwise, that was a big gamble on a player with 56 HP. That shock dart was so close. This one's bouncing. But VALORANT dodges them both. The shots of Loida, though, they land flawlessly. And Ninja, maybe with no hope, he has to walk through that smoke or wait for it to fade. 30 seconds. And they'll start to think maybe he came mid. He might have wrapped around. You know, that ult came through. What if he's gone through the spawn? But
it seems they know.
They do, for now at least, hold the same angle. 20 on the clock. He could have went back to mid, but they are still certain that he'll come through that smoke, and for good reason. 7 on the board now. BBL, it's not the first time I'll say this, but they're running away with this first half.
Yeah, it's if anything, it's a little bit more concerning than the last, because at least there was blips rather than just the pistol in the second round, but this has been fairly dominant in the manner they've done it. I'm also just, I don't know if Ninja thought there was somebody coming in from behind, but it seemed like the two players in that clock were just not on the same page. VALORANT is trying to plant, and the other player is just trapped outside. It left him in a horrible scenario to try and face off in that 1v2 while planting the spike, which you're not really going to win.
Oh, a timeout for Pacific, as they will take a moment to go back to the drawing board here. It's been a BBL show on the other side of the stage. And let's get to know Loida a little bit better. Eats blueberries before the game. Interesting.
When was the last time you ate, I don't even want to say a blueberry, a fruit?
A fruit? I had some raspberry chewing gum today.
That's, no, the actual fruit, not like
it
something
has a picture
with,
on the...
Yeah, it doesn't matter, no, an actual
it tastes like it, so I think it has the vitamins.
No. Genuinely, do you actually know the answer to that question?
My dog eats blueberries. They're good for dogs.
So you own blueberries, you just don't eat them?
I have not eaten them unless it was in a smoothie in many years. Many years. That goes for all fruit.
Okay.
No, I mean, I have a banana here or there. A little apricot. Those little sad. What are the ones
and you love cucumbers.
You got me in
as
Ukraine.
well.
One of those ones, Saturn peaches. Those were fire, bro. You introduced me to a whole different, different thing.
I think that was like 3-4 years ago.
No, that would have been like 5 probably at this point. Early days.
Good to know you remember the last fruit was 5 years ago.
Well, no, I mean, I've eaten the Saturn peach since then. That's when I got addicted to Saturn peaches. Realized beautiful. Oh, CNED He almost had it, but
Oh,
Lovers Rock
no.
disappears, and now CNET does too, but not to safety. Oh, a sacrificial lamb. The whole squad seems to be. VALORANT doing his best, but it's just not good enough when it's the entirety of BBL that you need to take down. 8-2 now for this squad. The defense looking flawless.
This might be a bold thing to say considering the players that we have in the league. I genuinely think the player that we most annoying to play against is Lovers Rock. Because, like, I would say a solid, like, 90% of the time he gets a kill, he's gone. Like, you can't trade him. Like, I can think of once where they've managed to insta-trade him. And that was with the pistol, and he tried to duck and immediately TP, and they caught him in the last split second. There, he's being run at by an ult.
Yeah.
He shoots the guy behind, and he's gone. And again, look.
Can you imagine how good it feels to be Lovers Rock, to come into this league, and then the devs are like, yeah, we're going to actually make it easier for offers to have impact. We're going to take away some of that pesky initiation utility. And this guy is just having the time of his life out here. An unbelievable debut on that stage. Well, with the EMEA colors.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been technically down there.
Yeah,
mentioned,
yeah.
But
He was the
there before.
top fragger in their final, so he knows what it's like to get a lot of kills with an operator on that stage.
But
And yeah, as you said, since then they've helped him out.
And it is something incredibly rewarding to watch a player like that really hitting his stride, finding that impact so early on in his career, because how much further can he take it? I mean, you think about being down on that stage, playing on those PCs, on those screens, it takes a while to get used to. And they've come in looking like this is their second home, maybe even the first home.
Yeah. Yeah. The story that was always told was that he had probably some of the biggest boots to fill.
Yeah.
A man talked about as a prodigy, and he has filled those boots incredibly well. Still alive on the site, looking to try and deal more damage. Oh, he's going to get out of there just in time. I feel like he maybe could have got more, but that's the thing. Look at the weapons on the other side. He doesn't need to take a gamble, take a risk. In fact, he's got that dimensional drift just to try and give his teammates exactly what they need. Nice shots from Loiter and Cupid. All he can really hope to do is slow them down. Any utility he could place will only buy so much time. Immediately has to use a piece of it, just trying to get himself a little bit of extra space. And actually, there's not really anybody watching from the angle he's coming from. That's a good chance! 2 already found! It's a missed shot on 2 on the other side, but unfortunately, couldn't quite close out what would have been a miracle clutch. A very nice try. But the round still ticks over for BBL.
Oh, it's going to be heartbreaking being that close to, again, a breakout round for Pacific. Oh, yes! Oh, he's so good at the game, man. We saw that from the perspective of the second guy he killed, and it looked more outrageous, to be honest. Spinning on a dime for Cupid, the IGL down there. He's been having some great rounds, but that one would have taken, in the series, not in this map, but that one would have taken the cake.
What sound did think he just made?
Not sure I want to answer that question. I'll plead the fifth. Pacific 2 rounds on the board.
Heard Zesh make that one.
The team who has the most dominant scoreline of the match so far on Abyss, 13-7. Pacific made it look easy. They dismantled BBL, but now the shoe is very much on the other foot.
Yeah, I think they've got the shoe, the tracksuit bottoms, the jersey, the hat. Like, it really isn't. Let's just say the first half of map 1 and the first half of this map are looking very similar. In fact, we might end up with the same scoreline if Pacific can win a round. They won rounds 1 and 2. This has been 9 in a row. And I can't think of any of those 9, other than maybe the Cupid clutch a few seconds ago, that looked like they were going to win it.
Yep. Yeah, and even then, Cupid was, really fighting an uphill battle. In the rain, in the muck. For Pacific, third round. It's what they want, and they've started out well. LaRock dealt with off, posted on the angle. CNED might have seen a hair from Lovers Rock's head there. Lovers Rock makes it out. Hunter's Fury good for the first. Oh, Ninja jumped back into it. Tried to bait him out. Big tag. Ninja gets brought back, but in goes Lovers Rock now. Posted on the angle, and he'll catch Ninja a second time. The spam from Rose finds another. And the off now Prime for a little bit more. As CNED needs a 1v3. A spike plant amongst it, and he's got no time. It's going to be Lovers Rock to put 10 on the board for BBL.
Ah, what a recovery in that round, especially. Super impressive. 10 in a row. We were questioning after the
30
pistol
seconds left.
and second round if they would be able to come back after the last map defeat. They have. Well, let's see if Pacific can do the same in the second half.
Red Bull gives you wings.
BBL have come in with the intention to win this map in record time. 10-2 on the board. Pacific, they faltered. It's been a good series so far. In fact, Pacific, if you look at map to map, they had the more dominant victory. They looked like the better team in the last map, but
Yeah,
that has changed
not
here.
including this.
Yeah, first two maps I'm talking about. Right?
Yeah.
The math ain't that bad.
No, Lovers Rock has been a different beast, and if it wasn't even if they dealt with him. If Loiter found himself in the right position, 14-4 as well. He's being overshadowed by the duelist that just doesn't die.
Yeah.
As said, he's got to be one of, if not the most irritating player to play against. He is just Houdini. Like, you see him for a second, you're either dead or he's gone.
Well, the next generation of Turkish talent up against the old guard of CNED, and in a pound-to-pound comparison, granted, it was the attack side for Pacific. If we saw CNED playing defensive off for a whole half, maybe it would be a different game. But it ain't a different game. The one we're looking at right now, Lovers Rock, is drawing all the eyes and X's over the face of his opposition. Pacific, 2 on the board. Losing this pistol probably means losing their first series on that stage.
Yeah, and they won the last pistol, and it still didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
So
2-0 up.
it's a lifeline if they can get it. They've been decent in these pistol rounds, but it's safe to say that the buy rounds have firmly gone the way of BBL in this map. Bandit purchase. So we're not seeing too much of the new weapon so far, here and there, but not so much in pistol rounds. We'll see if VALORANT can show us why people should start buying it. There isn't any head armor anyway,
30
so
seconds left.
he's going to be finding himself a little bit extra. CNED's there to start. The push is looking to go in the other direction. They've left the lurk of Kreven as well to try and catch them on the rotation. It is that initial sight take, looking for the plant, but Cupid's going to deny an audacious place to even try and plant in. The spams have been fantastic, leaving Loiter, and well, just no time. There's no way he gets a plant down here, and he may survive a little longer than expected, but it's Cupid that gives them a lifeline.
10-3 for Pacific. Indeed, as you said, Tom, it is a lifeline delivered. They're going to need to be close to flawless at this point forward. But the first step has taken them in the right direction. As you said, a very nice round from Cupid here in the pistol. Bringing him up towards the top of the board, and I think that's been the problem for Pacific. They have
That's not a good sign.
If a 3K can bring you from the bottom to almost the top, we are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Unless everybody's got like 20. Hey,
or unless it's round 1.
Sure, yeah. That effect is fine there. And it is round 1 of the half, but
yeah.
not of the map. So For Pacific, we need to see them find that confidence. Because, again, for me, I understand it won't be the same for the players, but for me, this is a team that can bomb out of kickoff, and as long as they bounce back stronger, as long as they're learning, as long as they're improving. But I want to see the promise, and in the first 2 maps we did. It was late coming in on Breeze. It was there from the start on Abyss. And hell, if slow starts, like if they manage to again climb back a bit and slow starts are the biggest problem, that's fine. Just don't lose to the pistols up close again with the Judge. And
Yeah, I don't know how you don't get that one.
Don't lose the round as well. Great job, Ninja.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Well, there you go. You can be happy. I'll let you take this one away. I'm sure
Phenomenal work, really.
Loiter's not going to lose to Timmy the Turret, but he might lose to Valorant the Turret.
He has the human turret. Strikes again. His Pacific bring us up to 4 now. 4 to 10. It's a big old gap. It's not an easy one to work with necessarily, but this round here is where it could start. You do come in with a lot of promise, I'll be honest. Like Bulldogs, a Spectre, and an Outlaw. It is a mixed bag. Throw in a Sheriff. Pacific are playing for the next. They're playing for it to be 11-4. For it to be a strong
So that's
economy.
your friend, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
I do. And the reality is it's not a round that they should win, but they have a lot of promise in it. That Outlaw, a few shots landing from that can completely turn the tide into Pacific's favor.
I got a question.
Damage is the name of the game. Yes.
How many times do you think Pacific has managed to get the A orb?
In the first half.
In any?
Spike down
I'm thinking
A.
it's 0. Or maybe 1.
Yeah, I don't remember on the attack. They often gave up A main. They took an initial fight, and the utility sent them back. Deep Astra smoke stopped them from pushing through.
It seems like BBL they got it on the attack side as well. They're just running it, taking it early. It doesn't matter. Obviously, the early pick is way more important, but I do think that's just been almost free ult economy throughout this game so far for BBL. A big part of their game plan, and something I wonder if it's going to be pressured. Sage Wall will slow them down, but happy to wait this one out. Cupid doesn't have to worry just yet, but the second that wall breaks, which will be soon, he doesn't really have the weapon for this.
He's hurting them though. 3 players breaking it, plain as day. They know this is an A hit. He's got safe inside the smoke now, looking to take the fight up close, but it's the Outlaw CNED that I'm worried about. That man is going to have a tough fight. Smoked off, walled off, and there's not much that he can do. They left the player on site isolated as Cupid falls. Now Pacific have to think about the retake. They're not going to deny that plant, but they have taken down the Rock. Numbers advantage back in their favor. Lovers Rock looks to recover though. It's a big play from Lovers Rock. A triple under his belt already. And with Ninja, the last man standing, he's found the disappearing man, Houdini, in front of him. As Lovers Rock goes back towards main and now baits him into a fight. He shot there, he gave away his position. He wants the battle with the 50 HP Ninja, and it's Lovers Rock to win it out. To push BBL closer to that finish line, 11-4 on map number 3.
He's 25-8. Like, a lot of the beginning of this round, again, it was a solid start. I think Cena did a fantastic job getting openers with the Outlaw, but this was just disgusting. And then just the confidence at the end. We talk about how he's always repositioning, always taking different fights. That one was, I am standing here, try and kill me. And he couldn't.
I also don't think he knew it was 50 HP, because unless I'm mistaken, he was the only player to do damage to him. So he lit him up in the earlier fight, and then just went, screw it, come find me, bro. Come find me, I don't care. I can play time, but I don't want to. I love that attitude, and it really is just, as I said, BBL are a team that came in and said, we are better. We can beat you individually. I don't care. And Lovers Rock's embodying that right now. He's going to stick that TP. Of course he is. The ult into the spawn.
No.
He's taken down CNET from behind. He's overran the B site, and now he's game crashed out of there.
He took his up. He took his up. He went in with a rifle, went, I'll have that, disappeared, and now he's got the up locked in. I wonder if they'll even realize that it's gone. And that might just be a nasty surprise. They look to come back into the site. An operator trying to hold from the heavens of smoke will lock them out at least a little bit. For Pacific, this is everything. They desperately need this round, and Loiter's just playing from afar, but up close is Rose within the smoke, dancing with death, and he's taken them all down. Only Ninja remains, and well, that's about the only hope he has, is if he could Ninja defuse, and that's not happening. Just forced into a retreat. Another BBL round. Another beginning of a streak, and it is looking like the only rounds Pacific are gonna get are the pistol and the second.
Oh, that's really sad, especially it being the third map. You know, I would expect Breeze to be somewhere that, it being the pick of BBL, Pacific are caught off guard, the new map back in the pool, but they came in with a new composition, new ideas, and those ideas were pretty good.
That, I will say, that CNET shot was utterly disgusting, but he didn't know there was a man
Got
behind him.
executed
Yeah.
immediately.
And got robbed.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think for Pacific at this stage, like the performance on Breeze, the ideas they've had, how well they played Abyss as well on the push and pull front. Some risky plays in there as well. It was fun to watch. To see them now completely fall apart on the third map is really underwhelming. But it is good to know that they have that potential. We've seen the ceiling is high. But here on Pearl, maybe we need to bring that floor up.
Yeah, I think also it's better for me to see a team go into their map choice and look very good.
Yeah,
It means that the prep that they've done is good. It means like with time you should see that extend to other maps. I think as well, it's clear that the calling coming out of Cooper is solid because it's their attack side. Their attack sides have been great.
Yep.
That's why I was a bit more worried on this map when their attack side got wrecked, because on the other two maps they didn't do particularly well on the defense, because that's going to be more down to structure. That's going to be built over time. So once the synergy picks up, that's where my expectations will grow there. For having a good attack just means, okay, fundamentally, there's something there. Maybe they're not quite on the level of a team that's been together at least as 4 for 2 years, which that's fair enough.
I will find it within myself to forgive them for that, Tom.
Yeah.
Generous as
That's
I am.
just because he's your friend, isn't it?
It's just because he's my mate. Otherwise, it's on sight.
You'd never forgive, you know, Enzo.
Oh, goodness gracious. CNET. He's found out.
Don't.
Oh, my goodness. The slide around from LaRock is madness.
Can you forgive Cooper for that?
Oh, it's going to take some time and a lot of love.
Oh, no. LaRock should be dead. LaRock should be dead twice.
Oh,
the only problem is that the time here, the spike needs to now hightail it to the side.
10 seconds left.
run!
Yeah, he's fine.
Put the
He's fine.
smoke down, man. Plant the spike! Okay, we're all good.
That's the cockiest I've ever seen anything, and then it doesn't even get it planted in the end. Lovers Rock just goes, well, I'll do this one myself. And that was the entirety of the map. What a map from Lovers Rock. Loiter there too, and what was a surprise, I'll say, in map number 2 at least. A surprise that they weren't able to take it over the line. A surprise that we saw Pacific play as well as they did. That very quickly dissipated. A 13-4 with 0 pistols won and 0 second rounds won means they've won every buy round, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, we spoke at Pacific as being a team for the future, for your later stages of kickoff. For stage 1, they need more time, and they need more practice down on that stage. But PBL, they look like a team for now. There were a couple blips on the radar. They gave some opportunities. They maybe played a little loose at times, but my God. Players like Rose down there, I think he shut up a lot of haters out there. A lot of people that say, like,
a good game
he
today.
can IGL, but can he shoot, though? You know, does my boy need a new mouse? No, he needs to change absolutely nothing, except the narrative around his name, because that boy can shoot, but the rest of the squad as well, there with him. Lovers Rock has to be the standout, though. That map right there was as dominant as it was because of that man.
Yeah, insane operator player. I think that he was great before. I think the meta now is even better for someone like him. And I think a lot of teams are going to have to go, okay, we don't only have to beat like a LaRock or Loiter, these youngsters, we have to beat Lovers Rock. We have to make sure that he's not able to get away with as much as he is, because he genuinely was playing like Houdini. He found one, he disappeared, and now you have to find him again. And, well, it's like the toughest game of Where's Waldo you're ever going to play, because if you get it wrong, you die at the end.
Yeah, and Lovers Rock, your young CNET down on the stage, who's got a meta crafted for him as well. This could be his year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him lifting something, especially not playing like that for Pacific on the other side. It is this situation that, you know, I liked a lot of what I saw there in terms of the vibes today. I think we saw a ton of promise, especially from players like Seven, VALORANT, and some clutch moments really showed up. Everyone had their time in the spotlight. It just was that little bit short-lived. And looking at a man like CNET as well, honestly, from a human perspective, it feels great to see him on that stage always. That's always true. We love him, but seeing him laugh, seeing him with his shoulders relaxed a little bit, that's a great look, because I've seen him be very quiet in the past. But for now, it's time to go down to the stage where Lou is standing by with perhaps a duelist for the future, Rose.
An IGL and a captain like no others joined me on stage after beating his former organization.